January 25, 4:41 p.m. Podcast 24 of the 2020 year.
Yeah, 2020.
We're doing 2020 this year.
Feels like 2020.
That'll put us a year ahead of everybody else.
What happens when you have to file taxes, though?
I don't file taxes. Somebody else files taxes for me, so I let him.
And he knows what year it is.
Oh, so it doesn't. We don't have to.
Just
all the dates on the checks.
It's a good podcast episode.
Yeah. All right.
Why are you guys in town?
We're taking fighting shotgun.
Who are you?
I'm Pierre. This is Josh. This is Snowbird.
Snowbird.
Okay, he doesn't speak. He doesn't speak English.
Is that your code name?
I have to. He only speaks French, and I have to translate all his words. But I don't speak French.
Have you listened to any of our podcasts?
Most of them.
You know kind of how we do. You have a podcast?
Normally they're not in something as big as
You don't
this.
speak English.
I know. You're translating for
Yeah.
us.
Yes.
There's voiceover happening.
Oh yeah, that's what we're doing. Gabby's putting a voiceover in
You
there.
actually can probably speak in French, and the fucking subtitle program will actually fucking
Probably.
translate.
Moi, je peux parler un petit peu de français parce que je suis canadienne.
There.
There you go.
Yeah.
See?
Fucking
Yeah,
nailed
super
it.
secret shit. Can she put black?
So we
over
were
his eyes.
We need laser eyes.
Oh, the laser eyes. We're talking about fucking
Yeah, we need
cojones,
laser
dude,
eyes.
with his laser
We
eyes.
need laser eyes, and she needs to tighten all her pant legs.
Yeah,
So
we
they-
need skinny jeans.
They've been here like an hour or so, and they keep having these conversations. I'm like, we should record that. Stop. We should record that. Stop. We should record that. Stop. Now I can't remember what we were going to record.
9 verse 45 was one.
No,
Yeah.
10 verse 45.
No, 10 and 40. Like 10 is legit. We can all right. Can we meet in common ground that 10 is?
You obviously have never heard my thing. You've
What?
never heard my
I've heard your thing, and
You've never
that's
heard
what I
my
want to
thing.
talk about. That's
You've
what I want
never
to talk
heard
about.
my
I
thing.
heard
If
that you
you
put
if
47
you-
9mm rounds in
if
the
you
Iraqi
can-
dude, and he stood up and kept coming.
If
And
you can,
you hit him once with the 1911, he exploded.
If you
I've heard
can-
the story.
If you can comfortably
Yes.
shoot 10 millimeter,
Correct.
then 10 millimeter is what you should shoot.
Correct.
If you could comfortably shoot 50 AE,
Right.
then that's what you should be shooting.
I agree.
I am shooting the biggest caliber
Correct.
that I can shoot,
Yes.
which happens to be 45.
Yeah, I get it.
Because all the
Because-
girls get 9 millimeters.
You want
Okay.
him-
Here's my theory on why you like 45. You've
Let's
seen
see.
it happen,
Let's
right?
see.
You've seen it
John
work.
Wayne.
Let's
Huh?
John Wayne.
John Wayne. No, I think part of it's there. I
Sandy
think-
with Gina Pork Chop Hill.
But I've heard you actually
the
talk
difference
about
is you guys were all 35 or under.
right.
He's 55 or over.
But listen, that's part of it. But you actually, I've heard you tell the story where you saw dude pump a bunch of lead, right, and he kept going, and then the 45 guys would stay down. I've heard that. I think the problem with that is the NATO round and the projectile, the ball and the projectile.
I would beg to differ.
Why?
Because
he doesn't even mean that. He means he just differs.
Yeah.
I would beg to differ just because
We're
the
polite to the
statistics,
camera.
the statistics don't play out. If you actually look at like what's going on in Chicago,
Right.
most of those hits are 9 millimeter hits.
Yeah.
And you have a kill ratio that's fucking
To
terrible.
to go against
But
that.
you got Boo Boo LaFufu shooting fucking.
Hold on,
sideways
no.
and
I don't
shit.
even think that factors in. The
We're
factoring
still
is
talking about hits.
tourniquets have not been a big thing except for the
We're
last
talking
5
about
years.
hits versus
Yeah, but who's tourniqueting the dudes in Chicago?
When the ambulance calls, 911 still goes to the hood.
I'm
Ambulance
just
still
saying
shows
that-
up in the hood.
I'll bet you.
Tourniquets have accounted for a lot of law enforcement officers not dying
Yeah.
from gunshot wounds,
Okay.
but not a lot of gangbangers because they're not using them.
Wouldn't that be some shit?
Cops
See
are
some
using
fucking
them more.
gangbanger
I'm just
back in
saying that
Chicago with fucking
when
tourniquet.
you look at
If you shoot somebody in the same spot with the 9mm 45, it doesn't really matter.
no, it doesn't. You can shoot them with a 32. It doesn't matter
Correct. So why wouldn't you take
because it's about how much tissue damage. It's about how much actual tissue damage you can do.
correct? So
The bigger
excluding
the-
ball.
Yeah, the bigger the bigger the hole you can make,
Correct.
the better off you are.
Correct. So how much more damage are you doing with a full copper hollow point coming out like blade, like plus P plus plus, like the hottest load you can load 9mm to in a full copper round?
Well, chances are, with that plus P full copper round,
Right.
you are going to do a 9mm hole because it's not going to expand in that target because it's going to pass right through it.
Ball. Yes.
Even hollow point.
No, a full copper wall. Full copper wall. I think if you saw
hollow
the
But even
evidence,
still, let's say
Okay.
this. We'll just say this.
Right.
Let's say you're going to use the FBI standard. which is 100. We'll just say this: you're going to use 145 grain hollow point, spear hollow point, right? 147 grain spear hollow point, and it is going to expand 100% every time it hits the target. Okay, so every time it hits the target, it is going to expand to its maximum size.
Right.
Right. Why wouldn't you want to do a bigger one?
I'm with you. But to get technical, the FBI standard is a standard. The spear is jacket. It's not full copper.
Yeah, but
Bonded. It's bonded. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's bonded.
But I'm just
Right?
talking purely
Correct.
terminal.
A bigger hole is always better.
A bigger
Right?
hole.
A bigger hole is always better. But realistically, right? Realistically, on average, what are you going to get? How many rounds of 45 you're going to carry versus how many rounds of 9mm? So they all run 17 for the most part, right?
That's contradiction. That all you're doing is contradicting what really happens.
What?
What really happens in less than 3 rounds, all gunfights are usually over, unless
That
you're the
used to
bad
be-
guy.
But
That's
new
still
studies have been showing they've been
That's-
shooting. Their average shooting is what magazine capacity is.
You know why?
One or two less than magazine.
You know why?
capacity.
because they're throwing more rounds into the dirt. They're not hitting targets.
I agree. I agree.
So
we can
if-
both
if
agree
you-
that they don't know how to
If
shoot.
you have a 17
Nobody's
round
allowed to shoot.
magazine and
Correct.
you're going to shoot them all into the wall, then
Equal
that's
amounts.
the problem.
In that case, it doesn't matter what the caliber is.
I agree.
It won't matter what the caliber.
Equal shooting like skill. Right?
Okay, if we have equal skill,
Correct.
we still have the same problem. You're not going to need 17 rounds. You're not. You're not going to need 17 rounds. If you have the skill level, if you, Pierre, have to go in there and shoot somebody, let's say you got to go shoot Nick.
Yeah.
Why do you
See,
need
if I have to
17
shoot
rounds?
Nick, I'm going to put it in his leg.
I think Nick
I'm
would
gonna
fuck-
miss
better
on
sneak up-
purpose.
better sneak
I'm
up
just-
on
I'm
Nick. I
just
think
I'm going to
Nick-
shoot him in
I
the
think-
foot.
I
Let's
think-
be real here.
I think Nick would fuck you up.
I'm not going to try and end it.
I don't-
We're going to have some fun
You
with
definitely
it.
don't want to shoot head on against Nick. Like Nick can shoot.
I don't doubt Nick can shoot.
Like if you decide to shoot Nick, you better sneak up with him.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly. I'm like,
Hey,
hey, what's up? Hey, what's up?
Okay,
Like,
so
bam, right in the
Would you
toe.
rather have
Sir,
a Tommy
how are
gun
you?
or an MP5?
MP5. Tommy gun.
I'd rather have a 45
MP5.
than
MP5 is
Yeah, but this dude
we're
is saying
talking
it's
we're
exactly
talking
the same.
9mm 45 though. Would you rather have an MP5 or a Tommy gun?
Oh yeah, one thing I can.
I want to hear what Jeff says.
they don't make it in 45. They
Why
do
not?
make it in 40 cal.
Well, that's because.
Because it's a German company and they only make it in European calibers.
Okay.
Boom.
40 cals European.
Tommy gun or MP5?
You know what? I honestly, I'd rather have the Tommy gun. I'd rather have a Thompson M1.
Because it's a bigger hole.
No, that's got.
If you bolted a Tommy gun to a base.
I'm talking though.
Not because of that. Because
It's a
at
cool
that
effect.
point, your
If
issue
you,
is
have to,
no
if you
longer.
have to shoot against guys, would you rather have the MP5 or a Tommy gun?
For practical use.
I mean, I would take. Given the choice, I'd probably take the MP5.
Okay. Would you take the M4 or the MP5?
MP5.
M4 or the Tommy gun?
Tommy gun.
Why?
Because an M4 really sucks. 5.56 sucks.
Okay, can I jump in?
5.56
Short M4s, right? Like we're talking 8-9 inches and 300
No,
black.
you're talking 14.5 inches like a M4 is.
No, I got you, but I'm saying we're gonna add another one. 8-inch, 9-inch, 300 black.
It's great.
Over.
300 black.
Where are you going? Okay.
Oh, 300 blackout over all of them.
300 back. If you're going through rooms,
The terminal
Yeah,
ballistics
300
are-
blackout.
if you're clearing a
over all
house or you're clearing a building or
As long as you have,
most sports
as long as
stuff.
you have an ammo sponsor.
Yeah.
Yeah, 300 blackout.
$5 a round. Yeah.
Because you can really suppress a 300 blackout.
Right. And it's a bigger hole.
You want to
And
have
it's
the
a
penis
weight
conversation?
What?
Do we want to have the penis conversation?
No.
And it's a way bigger hole.
Fucked up. That's fucked up. We're not having things conversation.
All right, what were the other ones? What else? What the fuck happened with your video? Like, how in the fuck does it only have 40 comments on it? Like,
I really think YouTube is suppressing. So if you don't know what he's talking about, I did a belt destruction video. It was a torture test.
pretty
but
cool.
It was
cool.
Yep.
We lifted.
Like, nobody even showed up and talked shit on it.
I don't understand
That's
why they
kinda
would
fun.
suppress it though.
Well,
Because
because
there's a tank in there, or
Oh, it's because his channel's
it's,
guns
fucking,
and stuff.
it's a gun channel. Like, and it's not just gun shit, but like my videos have not been getting like organic views from.
This
YouTube.
is the Well-Rounded Warrior. That's his channel for you guys that don't know.
So like, unless you or James or like honestly, I look at my views on the manager, and they all come from when somebody with a large following shares it. Like otherwise, it's the standard 300, 400 dudes that like watch my stuff. I mean, I got like 1,800 subscribers, but realistically, only a couple hundred really see it unless it gets out there somewhere else. Somebody else shares.
Are you sharing them to your Instagram?
Instagram,
Yeah,
Facebook, everything that I've got.
What were our numbers this month? We had some weird places. What did we have on the map?
We had one guy in China. We had, what was that weird place? There's a couple weird places. I can't remember what they are outside of, because I want my China numbers to bump up. You guys in China need to come on, share that
Qatar.
shit.
We had
Share that.
We had
Oh, yeah,
12
Qatar.
in Qatar.
We had-
12 in Qatar this morning.
That's got to be military dudes.
Yeah.
Well, that's what
It was weird.
but
Right?
the problem with that is they don't use local IPs.
So if they're using
Yeah.
the thing that spoofs the
Yeah, they're
So
spoofing.
ISIS-
They're not going to use the local IP. So maybe it's 28 guys in China that are using the Qatar IP because they're censored in China.
I don't know.
So then it's probably the Russians.
And your
Hey,
Instagram.
Russia, get some bots in there. Let's get those numbers up because we don't have a lot of Russians either. I'll take bots. I don't care.
And
Yeah.
and Weapons Junkie
Weapons junkie.
on Instagram. And you said your Instagram shit's all fucked up.
Yeah, I can't even boost anything because weapons is in the name of the.
We couldn't boost anything, and we haven't even put any weapons in our shit.
Right.
The tool bag video, they would not let us boost it, and the reason why, and they did the same thing on Facebook, because if you don't know, to run a boost on Instagram, I have to do it on the commercial page. I have to do it on Facebook, and boost on the Facebook app to do it on the Instagram. Facebook denied it. Instagram denied it. We disputed it. Facebook put it up. Instagram still wouldn't put it up. Said you can't have guns, ammunition, explosives, knives, knuckle dusters was one of them, like crazy shit. And that's what I said. I go, none of that stuff is in this video.
Right.
Not only is it not in the video, it's really not on the page at all. And Instagram still denied it.
I lost.
It was literally the same exact text, same verbiage. The same fucking person wrote it for both of them.
I've lost 3,000 followers since November.
And they're not unsubscribing.
It's just
They're
like,
being
I was like,
unsubscribed.
whoa, what the hell?
I lost. Okay, so I probably lost 75 Instagram followers, and I was lucky enough. Most of the dudes that subscribed on YouTube, I think, were real dudes. And so when YouTube sent that email out, you're going to lose some subscribers, I only lost like 5. So China doesn't like me. But
What am I talking about?
Getting the China numbers up.
Right. China numbers.
I don't know. What do we got? We should have
Yeah,
questions from somebody.
resharpening your craft blade.
What kind of guns can you own in Canada?
Do
you have
Chinese? Norinco's are good to go.
Damn.
We get Norinco. Well, we did get Norinco everything. They stopped shipping a few years ago. We had like Norinco ammunition was just everywhere.
We ship stuff into Canada all the time, and we've had dudes like getting fucked up by customs for medical, like for 4-inch Izzy bandages, 6-inch Izzy. Like they really want to know
It's because they
what
know
you're
who
planning
you
to
are.
need this for.
It's because they know where it comes from.
So
They stop everything that you send me. They stop and they apply their little tariff to their $10 handling fee, and I get to pay the customs and duty.
They'll let y'all have AKs now?
Hell no.
I didn't think
VZ-47.
so. I didn't think
Yeah. So CSA. Yeah.
VZ-47. Right? That was VZ-7. VZ.
CS,
Whatever the VZ is. It's
VZ.
the whole action moves on the
so.
top.
VZ-58.
See, it's a CZ.
7.62.
Yeah, VZ-58, not the 47. They say is too close to.
You can have
So hold
you
on.
can
So
have a
let's-
50. You can have a VZ-58,
Yeah.
but you can't have
Right,
an
right.
AK.
This is
Correct.
even better. This is even better. So we're talking. We ate lunch today. We're
Can
talking
only
shotguns.
have a metric fell, not an inch fell.
Right.
So we're talking shotguns and what he's gonna run this weekend, and this, that, and the other, blah blah blah. He's like, oh yeah, and I was like, yo, I got this, huh? So I got this Benelli, and I'm telling him the story or whatever, and he's like, I just bought two shotguns with collapsible stocks, one magazine fed 9-inch barrel, and a 14-inch barrel. The 14-inch barrel got a full, and I'm like, that's an SBS. Like, you got a full, he's like,
Not for us.
no. He's like, it's just. He's like, as long as it's manufactured 9 inches, it can be. And I was like, so what's the restriction? Is this one of those like I have to call my aunt? She's gonna call my uncle so I can take it out of the safe and put it into the basement. And he's like, no restriction. Do whatever the fuck I want with it. And I was like, there's some restrictions. So here's the thing.
1 round magazine.
5 rounders. Bumps have no restrictions actually. So I've got an 11 round magazine for that, which is it's nice with that deal with
4 6-round mags and an 11-round mag. With 5 mag changes, I can put a lot of lead down range. But I'm not allowed to have the gun loaded.
Ever? Like not at the
Until I'm
range or
shooting
anything?
it.
Oh, where you're shooting?
But like not in the house,
Skully,
not in the
Skully,
car, not right. When I'm walking around in the bush, cool. But like once you get into the car, it's that whole Britain thing.
Well,
So-
what was the?
So there are restrictions.
Right. Okay. What was the loadout you were saying? Was it for the shotgun, or were you using one of his? Was it a 308 rig, or you were using one of his rigs?
Right. So the thing about those shotguns with the even the 3-inch magazine-fed shotguns, are the ones we're getting are made in Turkey. The 308 micro rig stacks those perfectly. 5-round or 6-round, two deep, and so.
I think dudes were putting the what's that AK?
Pepper?
No, the AK shot.
Sega.
Sega.
It'll be, and then they'll be the same. They'll be the same format.
Dave fillers,
Yeah.
links, all those magazines that work.
Yeah.
Dave
So-
fillers.
I would really like to know the justification of why you can have a VZ-58 and you can't have an AK-47.
Because it was
Prohibited by name.
Prohibited by
Yeah.
name. Yeah.
So VZ-58 's not
Diane
prohibited by name.
Feinstein's brother's probably up there in Canada, writing bills.
So what? Yeah. What's? It's the same. It's the same thing that you guys have. Like
Couldn't have an AR-15, but you
It's
could
the
have
difference between
An
SBR and a pistol,
AR-16?
right? It's the difference
Well,
between an SBR and a pistol.
AR 180s are making a huge resurgence because they're not restricted.
Wait,
so,
you can.
So we can have.
180s.
Are the real ones, or they're making
No,
them
the new version just based on that pattern because it's not restricted by name. So I can take it. I can take an AR like a Stag,
Yeah.
18, whatever. I can take that out in the woods. 5-round magazine capacity, unless you run a 308 pistol. All pistol magazines are allowed to have 10 rounds. So if you have your 308 pistol and you put it in your rifle, and then if you have a coupler and you could stack 2 of them pistol magazines together, you could have 20 rounds.
So as a Canadian citizen, can you come to the United States and use 30-round mags legally?
While I'm in the United
Yes.
States, yes. Yeah, there's no problem. If
As long as it doesn't end up in your bag. And
back in Canada,
Right.
Yeah.
if it does, it better be pinned to 5.
So you can have a 30-round magazine if it's pinned.
All of our magazines come from they're all
They're all
manufactured at the
30
same places yours are. They just get they get pins put in all the way
That's
across.
not too bad. I mean, you can get around that.
It's-
You have
They
to.
don't change the
You
spring
have
or
to.
anything. Like this.
Yeah, you have to.
It's
You got a drill press? Don't answer that.
it's typically an aluminum rivet.
Same
Well,
shit in
well,
fucking
you know.
California.
Yeah,
all
it's the same thing in California.
Yeah.
So what they've done is they've caused us to find ways to create loopholes around the spirit of what they were trying to do. Right? They write this letter of the law with the intent to just make it hard on people who want to have guns.
Is there crazy crime in Canada?
You guys.
Be here Monday. Or tell them wait around till we're done.
It's like generally,
Do you know Peter McKinnon?
Peter McKinnon.
He's from Canada.
I don't know Steve. I don't know Steve from Toronto. I was riding my motorcycle back across. I was in somewhere in the turnpike in Chicago. I don't even know where I was. And I stopped. I got some gas, and I had a flag on the back of my bike. And some dude comes out. You're from Canada, hey? You got that? And he goes, "Okay, do you know Tony in Vancouver?" I think Vancouver's got 1.8 million people. So I was like, "I'll bet there is a Tony." But yeah, right. So there's that whole deal.
Right.
The igloos are cool. Right? We got power to those things a few years ago. That was nice.
All right, you had a ton of shit. I said, let's wait. Now you got nothing. So what do you got?
Because he just died on the vine with
This
his 10 millimeter.
motherfucker's never.
I didn't die out of the bar.
It's just like 10 millimeter?
Can we agree on 10 millimeter?
Yeah.
I just don't think I don't like.
We agree on
like
it.
it.
We agree on 9 millimeter. If I bought my wife a 9 millimeter, we agree on that. If you shoot the biggest caliber you can carry.
So the guy.
If I had an M2, if I had an M2 pistol that I could carry and shoot reliably, I would carry an M2 pistol.
So the guy that I took building clearing with today, I was like, "Hey, have you ever been SOE?" He's like, "No." So well, follow me and you can buy some shit. And so he's in there. He's like, "I ran a Glock 29 through fighting pistol." I was like, "You're a fucking man. That's a
10
a
millimeter?
little 10 millimeter."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I was like, "Okay, cool." He's Minnesota, maybe.
That's the
You
only
might know
argument
him.
you got.
He's from Minnesota.
I'll let you have
so-
Well, let me ask you.
What's the argument? I don't know. I gotta call Dana. There's a Latin term when you when you can't argue the point, so you argue the man, right? So if you want to demasculine, if you want to
Okay,
Attack
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, like you have yet to bring any facts
Here's the fact.
on why it's better.
You want
The
facts.
the ball
You want
ammunition that you
100%.
shot in the military. I
You
think
want
it's completely
100%
different.
fact.
Yeah.
100% fact
Yeah.
is the United States Army went to the 9mm handgun because of females in the United States Army.
Okay.
That's why the military
Cool.
got rid of the
Right.
Got rid of the
What's the
45.
advantage of me carrying 45?
Bigger holes.
Okay,
It goes to 11.
but what? It goes to 11. It doesn't go to 11.
Bigger
So
holes.
on a Glock 19 size
But Pierre
gun,
can't shoot good, so shouldn't he
Okay.
have more bullets?
Glock 19 size gun,
Actually,
Glock 19 size gun, correct?
Yeah.
Like normal, what everybody is going to carry size. You're going to get 8-9 rounds of 45.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm being realistic about what kind of engagement you're going to have here in town.
Les Wilson said
You're not going to you're not going to do a mag change. my
You
friend.
get
I don't
You're
disagree
not gonna
1,000% with you. I agree with you
You can get an
100%.
STI.
Huh?
Get an STI.
They got the fucking. I don't know what I shot.
I mean, you could stay with Glock. You could stay with Glock. You could get
It's not even about that. It's about
You could
there's-
Doesn't the 21 hold 13 rounds?
Not in Canada. It might hold 10.
It does
You
hold
can stay
13
with Glock. You can get a 21. You can get a 41.
So if you can shoot a 45 real well,
Yeah.
right? Like you got man hands and your nuts hang and all this other shit,
Dude,
right?
every chick I ever shot with shot a 45 better than
Because it's a full size gun and manages the recoil.
because the recoil was softer.
Right. Because the rounds coming out slow. Right, I'm with you. So if you can shoot a 45 real well,
Okay.
right? Wouldn't you shoot the 9mm even better?
Yes.
Okay.
And I would shoot a 22 even better.
Okay,
You're
that-
going to carry a 22.
No, there we go. Yeah,
But I'm
you're
just
taking it-
saying, as you're reducing, what you're doing is you're reducing the caliber. So yes, could I shoot? A
Right, but
9mm?
realistic,
Maybe.
if you want to shoot, you want to go into
I
a
do.
gunfight with a 22 caliber. Don't pull out AR's 22 caliber.
Basically, what?
A 22 pistol, 22
No,
long rifle pistol.
Because the
You wanna
holes
go-
aren't. No, because
Correct.
the holes aren't big enough.
Correct. So 9mm. Would you feel comfortable going to a gunfight?
Well, I have.
Okay.
I carried the 9mm the
All
entire
right then.
time I
So
was
if
in
you shoot
Iraq.
the 45 at this level, should you shoot the
people?
9mm better?
Yes, it's a fucking piece of shit.
Correct, because it was a fucking shitty ass
Yeah,
Beretta
yeah.
M9 shooting
Yeah.
at 124 ball ammo or
But
whatever.
it fired every time. That's not the issue he's talking about, though. He's talking about
He's
the
talking about
bullets.
what happened.
He's talking about those
Because it's the
9mm not dumping those
projectile.
dudes. Yeah.
Because it's the projectile.
Like, didn't we dump, or didn't we also dump 45 when we created NATO? So
No, 45 is actually made around the Marine Corps.
945,
The Marine Corps
556.
still
308.
uses 45.
All those
Yeah.
G-Stock pistols.
The truth be told, if you want the truth,
Okay.
it's more about what John said. It's more about what John said than anything else.
What?
That I'm old. It's
Oh,
more
I know
about that
that
than
too.
anything
It's
else.
not- if-
Because
there's no way in hell you were going to change your any
No,
amount of discussion. I get that.
It's more about me being old than anything else. And I'll tell you why. Because, and I know the Glock guys are going to fucking lose their mind, but I grew up when I know when Glock came out. And
They
nobody
Everybody-
carried a Glock.
right.
It was the high point of the ghetto.
Right.
It was
Right,
the high
right,
point
right,
of the
right.
ghetto. The only reason why Glock became what they became is because law enforcement departments started picking those things
Because
up.
they were so cheap. And then
Because
once
they were so
once
cheap.
once law enforcement started picking them up, they raised the prices, and now they're. But
So for me, a Glock has always been a ghetto gangster gun. Okay, it's what the bad guy uses. It's like an AK-47.
Right.
That's what the bad guy uses.
Right.
So, but when I'm growing up, I'm shooting a 1911.
Right.
Right. So bad guys use Glocks. Good guys use 1911. Chris Hayes. Shout out to Chris Hayes. I think he got one of the first Glocks off the line. We go to the range to shoot. Every time you shoot that motherfucker, the brass hit me in the forehead. Bing.
Do you know why that
I'm like-
holds? You know why that holds towards in the backstrap of that Glock? Because all the original Glocks came with a little hanger. So when you were taking a shit at the bathroom, you could hang your Glock up over the thing. Did you know that? Yeah. true.
So that's
look, Clint Smith.
Like,
you know,
I have
you know who
10
Clint Smith is.
Yeah, he fires 1911s.
Yeah, that dude like swears by the 1911, right? Like
Pat
and
McNamara.
Pat McNamara. He's a legit dude. He's a legit guy. There's a lot of guys. And Fisher's always running anything and everything. He's got $2,000-3,000 1911. I get it.
Fisher got some fancy socks.
Yeah, his hashtag is don't be poor.
Is that really his
No, well, he
hashtag?
doesn't say it, but like people will be like, "Why the fuck would you spend all this money on putting an RMR on a gun?" And be like, "Don't be poor, dude. Like, there's people that got money, just don't be poor." So, but I get like,
I want to have a
here's-
bunch of those dudes come in. I want to bring them in for classes and not do any fucking classes.
those dudes are some of the coolest.
We're
bullshit
gonna
talk about. Costa,
We're gonna bring Fisher, Cost, and all them
Bring
dudes.
Haley. We'll bring all
And
the
they're trying to
bad
get a
boys.
fucking round fire.
Yeah. See if we can get them to stay dynamic in live, and then you have to take a shot.
Uh,
But 1911, any firearm can be a good self-defense firearm.
Correct.
You have a lot of experience. You are the 1% when it comes to gun handling. But realistically, you are you've shot people, you've done things like you. I don't get it. And these guys, we all train, and in this community or culture, whatever. Not trying to toot our own horns, but very rare do people have the amount of certificates that we have, let alone one certificate. Most people buy a gun, put mags in it, and then put it in the safe because it's safe right there. You get what I'm saying? The reality of it is, what's for people without training? I know if I cam my wrist a little bit, put a little bit more pressure on these pinkies, I can get, for the most part, any gun to track pretty straight. Right? 1911, 10 millimeter, it doesn't matter. And most people think the longer the gun, the better. The 34s and the 17 ounce, those snap harder than the shorter guns. You know this, I know this, these guys know that, right? Most people don't. So, for most people that don't know really shit about guns, that think they're that's fine. I mean, that's fine, but I'm saying you're better off putting more bullets.
Just like, what's your answer?
Is the answer going to be the 45 easier to
Just a
shoot?
second.
No,
That was
you
a
know what my
real
answer.
roundabout
you
fucking
know why the
way.
45 is better?
You know why? For that scenario.
It has more real estate to engrave on the side. You can put more gold inlay.
For that scenario, just for the
You
scenario.
You can't go in
You
like
can't
plastic.
add fucking ivory grips.
I got you.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can't put
I
ivory grips on
I would
those
say
plastic
that for that-
Tupperware guns.
For that particular scenario, the only reason why I would say 45 is because of the two safeties.
That's going to go against them.
Look,
You're going to pick it
now-
up the gun, and as soon as you start pressing on the
But
safety, it's
here's-
coming out.
but
Somebody
here's-
that doesn't train is not going to grab the gun correctly. It's
So
not going to put the
here's, so
safety
here's the
on.
thing.
They're going to do this.
Oh, you just gotta get that big extra beaver.
The reason
Oh,
why
yeah.
I say the two safeties on the guy that is not going to do the training and he's just going to put that gun in the drawer
Right.
is because the reality is
Can't carry it.
that fucking gun, that gun is more dangerous to everybody in that house than the threat of somebody coming in the house and trying to shoot him. The reality
Yeah,
is,
that's fine.
it's like getting struck by lightning. It's fucking rare.
But
Everybody
you
does.
can get,
So do you think
everybody does-
MPs. You can get MPs with safeties on them.
Do you think that you should have to take a fucking class?
Oh, this is a good question.
Do you think if you're going to go buy a pistol,
This is a good question.
should you have to go take a class where you fire 1,000 rounds and do a fucking class of sorts? If that's the danger, though.
Let's dive down this rabbit
That's
hole.
the Canadian.
No,
That's
let's
the Canadian.
jump in on it.
Yes, in Canada, if tomorrow in Canada they said, listen, anybody who wants to own a handgun can, but has to demonstrate that they know how to fucking use it.
We had that in California. You had to show that you could load and unload the gun.
Yeah. So in my fantasy world, I'd be able to put a bit more onus on people. Like they would have to take a class. They would have to understand that this thing, a hammer is for hammer shit. Okay, a gun isn't just to sit there and shoot at little paper targets.
Although you can use a Unerdal or a US Optics to drive nails with.
You-
So it's
yeah.
both.
You absolutely can. That's adaptation. So no, for Canada, this isn't what I would like to see America adopt. You guys have your own different set, but we have this very hands off, guns are evil, voodoo, mystical talismans. But if you taught people to force them to go in and treat it as such, get some competence, and then said, you know what, you've demonstrated until such time that you do something wrong, just like we let you drive a car around, you showed us
You
were
killed way
driving
more
a
people
car.
with the car.
Right, you could have, but you didn't. So do the same thing with guns. And for Canada, because we're starting from such a backward slope, if you wanted to have different level courses, like, hey, dude, you want to carry a shotgun around? Roger that, you got to go ahead and take a shotgun course.
Let me
support it.
Let me.
So I have two thoughts about it. The Constitution says we can do whatever.
Yeah, but we all know that's gonna
Yeah,
that's
so-
fucking not.
But I'm saying
followed.
if it leave gun control alone, then I say yeah, get a permit or whatever, like you're driving a car.
Do you want
Here's-
to?
so
Okay,
here's
well
my-
let's put that aside.
Okay.
Chick, your chick moves into your house.
Right.
She's not a gun chick.
Right.
She's going to be in your house with those guns. You want to know how to use them. Do you expect her and want her to go take a fucking class?
Yes.
Okay, let me jump in on this because my opinion jumps on both sides of the line.
Mine does.
Okay, so in an ideal world, yes. The problem is there's a lot of documented cases of people that have never taken a class, that have done nothing but put a magazine, a gun, put it on their hip, and protected their lives. So with that, I believe everybody should be able to protect this. It's your God-given, whatever
Was
God
he just
means for
lucky
you.
that day?
But
What-
what's that saying?
I
Luck
don't
is-
know the numbers. What are the numbers where that
I-
same person fucking hurt somebody else?
There's
And
way more injuries than
Or
than
that person's
yes.
kids got a hold of the gun.
Correct. This is the other side. There's
Yeah.
way more injuries that happen than people that defend themselves. But the amount of people that defend themselves, very small percentage, have a lot of training because the dudes that have a lot of training know how to avoid the gunfight.
Dude, those people that just picked up the gun and magically made it happen, they had mindset.
I agree. That's what I'm saying.
naturally
So you
had
can't
it
take that. You can't take that away from them. But
You
if
can,
it
you
was-
can teach people mindset.
correct. But I'm saying if you have to license it, you're taking that away from them.
So, well,
Let me pose this to you. 2 seconds. Let me pose this to you.
45.
Yeah.
Never mind. Go ahead.
If you could train, and this is kind of I think what he's going to jump into, to a certain level, like you should be able to go buy a rifle and a pistol, right? But if you could, I believe education is how you change culture. I think education is how you change people, right? I think you should be able to train to a certain level of what kind of gun you get. If I can, like I'll hopefully never need to strap on my plates and go to town or go to work with a rifle, right? But if I prove a level of training, then why can't I have?
I heard you don't have plates.
I do.
there's steel plates.
Do you
I
run?
heard you bought those water things to fill the space.
So what's nice is like when it was really cold, you can heat them up.
It was
Like,
cold that
like
day.
a you microwave like that heat pack, and you put it in your, and it's like, ooh, you're toasted.
I'm just saying. I'm just telling you what's out there
That's
in the world.
fine,
What
that's
I
fine.
heard.
So let me ask you this: would you now? I know what I would have to tell somebody on the left to get them to even listen to what I'm about to tell them, and the same thing with the right.
What would you tell them?
What would you say if I'm going to lead with the NFA goes away, the Gun Control Act of 1968 goes away, and the machine gun registry is now open again?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to lead with that's what I want. Here's how I want to get there, right? Just exactly like you license an operator for a car, license operator for rifles, shotguns, with a pistol endorsement. That pistol endorsement now becomes your concealed carry license.
Right.
You have training in schools. You have private training. You are licensed by whatever. I'm not saying because you can buy a car and not have a driver's license. You can't buy a car from a dealer because they won't sell you a car without a driver's license.
I
But
bought
you-
one.
Really? Oh shit!
Was it a dealer or was it buy here, pay here?
Well,
Did you have to go make your payment where you bought the car, John?
I didn't even have documentation.
How much did you
to
pay
do
for
my
the
loans.
car, John?
So,
$32,000.
anyways,
Cash talk.
so somebody from in the industry said you couldn't do that, but I'm not gonna say. it.
DMX
so.
did.
So, okay.
So-
DMX did it
so-
with a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
So I think anyone should be able
Steven
to
Seagal?
go buy a gun, right? But in order to take it out of your house, like drive a car in the streets, in order to do something with it, you need something that says you're okay doing that. So take a test, take a written test, hey, I can load this thing, I can move with it, I can do whatever it is I need to do, right? Okay. So where do machine guns come in? You have two types of machine guns: belt fed, magazine fed. Just like you have different CDLs, right?
Yeah.
Have that kind of CDL type testing because like having a machine gun's pretty real deal shit, you know. So
Big baller.
yeah, so like, but now here's the thing: with a rifle and shotgun license, that's your base license. All rifles, shotguns. I don't care about SBRs, SBSs.
Right.
NFA goes away.
Yep.
Right. Same thing with pistols. I don't give a fuck if it's got a buttstock on it. Is it a pistol? Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
How would you define pistol?
It doesn't matter because now
How would you define pistol?
you're licensed.
The same way
You're
we do right
licensed for
now.
both.
Yeah.
Like
It's a
you
pistol.
gotta get rifle shotgun before you get pistol.
I don't
If
know
you
how
get
to
all three of
describe
them,
porn, but I know when I see it.
if you get all three of them, then it doesn't make a difference. Okay. So and then like a CDL, those guys have physicals. They have fucking
Who's pushing
evaluations.
this?
Nothing. It's something I came up with the other day, and he told me I was stupid.
Well, the thing
Here's
is,
hold on, stop. Here's why I think you're stupid. I think because I believe that is good. If that was the middle ground, I think that could possibly be the middle ground. That's where the left could come in and the right could come in.
But
That's why it'll never happen. That's the
too many
point.
people. Like
the thing is, it's a great concept,
Correct.
but who regulates it?
Yes.
It gets regulated at federal level.
Is
And
this a shall?
as soon as they put their hands
Just
on it,
like
it
cars.
changes.
Okay, cool. Is it a shall or a may issue?
may issue would be unconstitutional. Shall issue because like why would they not give you a driver's license?
If you fail the exam.
Okay.
Or
you
that's it. Like you either fail the exam or you're not a
So
U.S. citizen. in
so
some
then
states.
how does then what about states that don't want the gun?
Fuck
Like, if
it.
you have hold on a minute, but that's the problem. This is why I said you can't do stuff like that because that response right there is what shuts down everybody.
Okay, so
So
California.
if you have a collective of 3 million people that don't want guns, that's your prerogative. That's awesome.
California is already doing this with semis. You have to have a certain kind of semi-truck that meets certain emission requirements.
Yeah, they're doing it with everything.
The question is, how
You're
do you get
fucking
the
lawn-
state
you have
to
you have a
follow
California
federal mandate?
lawnmower. That lawnmower is illegal.
How do you
Right,
get the
that's
state?
what I'm
Here's your
saying.
problem. How do you get state level stuff to follow federal mandate? Because Illinois just passed, and I could be wrong, and people correct me if I am. Illinois, I believe, just passed that they have passed some law that saying you can't have any assault kind of rifle past the 30-day mark of whenever they enact this thing.
Okay, so you don't get a state-issued license, like for machine guns in that state. They don't issue them. They have to issue.
So it's going to be like silencers and SBRs right now.
Oh, silencers should be.
No,
fire
but I'm saying,
anyways,
but
so-
like how NFA stuff works. Like Tennessee, you can have whatever the fuck you want.
Yes,
In Tennessee passed.
Yeah.
You can, okay, so then
Like,
that
but
brings
you-
us back to where we are right now.
you shall issue, right?
Right.
That's basically how the United States works. Shall issue is, except for like one or two states, everybody shall issue. I think even Illinois shall issue. But there's so much shit that's illegal in Illinois and California. Well,
We should
anyways,
have a shall work. That should
you get
be a shall work state.
you like shall issue for rifle, shotgun, and pistol. Like that's a standard fucking driver's license, gun license, right? So those are shall issue. Now, if you don't want machine guns, that's fine. If you want silencers, I guess whatever, you're a dick. But you know, I really because they're firearms accessories.
You're already
man.
deaf, motherfucker.
They're
Fuck you.
PPE.
Right? You know, fuck your
Yes.
protection.
Yeah, you're protecting.
But yeah, so no, like I feel like to me that's common sense. Like anybody can buy the shit, but like we don't want unlicensed drivers that don't know how to drive.
Why are people so afraid of the AR?
Why are people afraid of guns?
No,
in general?
no, but you
Maybe-
never hear
maybe
gun
I'm
grabbers coming after pistols. You never hear them say,
Because
"We're
they're
going
just
to
not there. They're
Easy
just not
target.
there yet. They're coming.
They're coming.
I don't disagree, but right now, if you look at 2018, yeah, 2018
Because it's-
FBI statistics,
Because that's the ban.
200 people died from rifles, and not ARs,
Because it's the ban.
rifles.
Because it's the bandwagon.
Right.
They're
Well,
saying it because the last 20 fucking people said
It's
it.
because it is the one that most resembles a military rifle.
Yeah.
That's why. It's,
Well,
it's
Well,
the
then we'll
one
just
that
all
most
run
people-
I'll
VZ4
share some.
58.
But
So
the
whatever.
problem
Back
is
to back to mini-14s then.
The problem
Back
is-
to mini 14.
the problem they have
It wouldn't guarantee.
is unlike 1994,
Yeah.
when California did the first, or when they did the federal ban,
Yeah.
the problem they have now is the AR-15 is also the most proliferated rifle in the United States.
Didn't they say? Didn't I
common
hear
use
there's
now.
8?
It's a common use.
Is there not 8 AR-15s for every U.S. citizen in the United
I
States?
don't know
what the
that
number
number,
is?
but-
Something about half the guns in the world, I think, are owned by the U.S. population.
I keep seeing the number that for every
Some-
U.S.
It could be.
No, I'm pretty sure.
Think of the number,
I think it
the
is.
millions of AKs that have been built. over
I'm
the
pretty
years,
sure that's the
all
number.
around the world.
I'm pretty
Do
sure
you
that's the number.
think that, like, the entire AR production since it's
Probably
beginning-
now,
The
yeah.
last 6
Yeah.
years, AR production.
I used to have a
a.
paper on all the
You'd be,
all the
you'd
AKs
shit your
from
pants
Russian
if you knew
standpoint.
the number between us, mostly because of him.
No.
But
But for the sake of everybody Look, yes, I would. I would be very fearful.
But that's like, and the other thing is, and let's talk reality. We've been talking for the most part like utopia, and this would be awesome both sides. And this is what I talk about friends. I got friends on the left. This is what I say to them. Awesome.
Who are they?
People.
What's their address?
Anyways, I would say cool. Listen,
How are you associated?
I'm with you. You know what? Guns are bad, and if you somehow got rid of all the guns, there would be no gun crime. Which is right. There's no gun crimes if there's no guns. Cool. I'll give you that fact. How are you gonna get them?
You don't have to get them. You don't have to get them.
Hitler didn't get it.
Well, I'm saying you don't have to go. You don't have to go get them.
How are they gonna go away?
But you don't have to. You don't have to get them. All you have to do is create a timeline. So, for example, in the state of California, let's see. So, how old am I? Fucking. So let's say 30 more years.
Mm-hmm. You'd be 108.
In roughly 30 more years,
Yeah.
there will be no legal assault rifles in California because you can't grandfather them. So every one of those guns instantly becomes illegal. I don't have to go to your house. I don't have to go to your house and fucking get your gun, right?
Why? How is the gun going to cease to exist?
So 30
It's
years.
easy.
I don't care if it's illegal or not, right?
So, for example,
it's in my possession.
I had to register to be legal in California.
Correct.
I had to register all my assault rifles. I had to do it twice.
Correct.
There's no, you cannot pass them on. You cannot get rid of you.
Sure.
When I die in California,
Right.
in theory, the state of California is supposed to get those weapons for destruction.
Okay.
Okay.
So hold on. Let me ask you this. On a technicality on that point, just the registered part.
What do you mean?
Like
Just
a
the
firearm
word.
is the load.
That's all they care.
Right.
That's all they care.
So if we could pause right there at that moment, right? You theoretically drove across the border to Vegas, right? Got 2 lowers and left them there, and then when you decided to register those 2 shitty lowers that you had registered, and say, hey, you know what? I don't want my lowers anymore. Okay, like I don't have any more guns, and you gave them right?
Yeah.
And then you built the other lowers that you obtained legally but didn't register in California,
Which is a crime.
which is a crime, 100% with you, a crime, right? How do they know you have 2 ARs in your house?
Because they won't.
Okay,
They don't need to.
Right.
They don't need to. This is how they do it. This is California. So we'll go back to me.
Yeah.
So my kids,
Right.
my
Can't get
kids
your guns. And,
I can't will my AR-15s. So
Okay.
in theory,
Right.
once I'm dead,
Somebody's coming to collect those.
once I'm dead, those guns are done as far as being legal in the state of California.
Fine.
Right?
But
So
they're still there.
They're still there. Let's say
Okay.
they're still in the house.
Yeah.
They're just still in the house.
Right.
Somebody buys the house
Right.
with the gun safe in the basement.
Correct.
All they're waiting for is for you to produce those firearms. So if I'm in my car driving to Las Vegas and I get pulled over
Correct.
for a speeding ticket,
Right.
and that police officer goes looks in the back
There's
and
guns.
goes, "Oh, is that a rifle case back there?"
Yeah.
In California, they
Yeah.
no longer need a warrant to search your vehicle as soon as they
You
see
know
that
that-
case.
But
So now-
they never left the house.
Well, if they're buried in the basement, they're buried in the basement forever.
That's my point.
Do you know when the police are just
How are they going to come
You
get
know
it?
when the police
Oh, well,
San Diego Police Department gets a phone call. So and so, their house is being. You know when they dispatch them, they fucking know that there's assault rifles registered to that address. They say it over the fucking air. The fucking criminals, before they were running trunk system, bad guys were listening to the police radio scanners and knowing where those going later and fucking stealing the guns.
So
My point is,
that's
forget.
actually-
Let's
They know
that's
where
happened
those
every-
guns
No,
are.
but all they're trying to
let's move past California. Like California, we know is, and look, the hippies don't want guns, don't have guns.
I
Fine.
think it's
But what I'm saying is all they're
In
trying
Tennessee,
Yes.
right?
In Tennessee.
In Tennessee, it's legal to sell private firearms without registering.
Yes.
Correct?
100%.
Let's say Tennessee's the last holding out state, right? We're the last one standing saying, fuck you, we're keeping our guns, right?
Yes.
And some federal mandate passes saying, hey, it's illegal to have guns. How are you going to come get the guns?
But
You know, I
Like
don't have to.
I've got my, how often?
I don't have
They'll
to.
just turn your life off.
Yeah, I don't have to. I don't have to come. I don't have to come to your
But
house.
if they don't know I have the guns,
They know
Yeah,
you're
but they
not
know.
how many guns do you have in the safe that you bought from?
From profiling you, they know that you're a gun guy, you have guns.
That's
You know,
cool.
they already. You know they're arresting
everyone will
dudes.
report you.
Do you know they're arresting dudes? They're working cases right now off website information. Dudes don't own guns, but they're on gun websites, buying magazines. Looking from
That's what
you
passed in
look
Illinois.
at,
They got to look at your
web
Facebook
Yeah.
shit to see if you can.
they're
buy it
busting dudes left and right on
before you
this.
buy it. Yeah, that's what passed. That's
No, they don't need to. All they have to do is, so remember, it's not really about caring about the guns. All they have to do is outlaw. That's it. All they have to do is outlaw. First off, I'm willing to bet that you have a firearm right now that the state of Tennessee knows you have.
Yes.
Okay, so you have a firearm in the state of Tennessee. All they have to do is go, hey, you have a 30-day window to turn this fucking thing in, and you go, fuck it, I'm not going to do it.
But if I have 12 in the safe,
Yeah.
and one's registered, hey, I'm sorry. Here's the loan.
Look,
What you were talking about,
Is the reality of it?
what you were talking about is a felony.
Yes.
So, no, I'm just...
Yes.
I'm just pointing.
No,
it
I
out.
understand. No,
Hey.
I'm agreeing that if this passes and I don't give them everything I have and only give them what they know I have, I am 100%. Yes, I am consciously.
So I'll give you
Right.
an example. So I have to use California because that's where everybody's
easy.
going.
Right.
They just had a guy who was in the Army in Texas. While he was in Texas, he bought himself an AR-15. He got out of the Army, went back to California. Now, technically, because he was on orders in Texas, he could have sent a letter to the Department of Justice and said, hey, I have this AR-15. Can I please have it? But who knows that they can do that? He didn't. I guarantee he didn't know he could do that. So he took his AR-15 home. He also took, I want to say he had 25 30-round magazines, and he filled them with ammo. He put it in his safe, and he left it there. His brother, his little brother, was at school, and his little brother said, wouldn't it be crazy if somebody shot this place up? So the police went to that house, had him open his safe, every single one, not to mention, so felony for having the AR-15, and every one of those fucking magazines. Now, truth be told, what I said before, the state of California doesn't care about guns.
Right.
It's just you not having guns. So he's looking at fucking the rest of his life in jail for this soft
Or
California
you're not being
felony.
allowed to. They're not worried about stopping
So-
fraud. They're worried about you preventing them from doing what
So
they're
this is what
trying
they
to
do. So this is what they do. You're going to go to jail for 50 years. Or you can plead guilty to the felony and you can be out 6 months.
A felony, which only is a felony in California. So as soon as he stops out of California, he is no longer really a felon, but he won't pass a fucking gun buy check.
And
So,
while you're doing
but
that,
what-
you can write out 3 of your gun friends.
Because that's
Tell us the
usually
names of them.
90% of the dudes in federal pen are there because someone told on them.
All they have to do is make it so that the gun is dead. For like my
Or
my
the
assault
gun.
rifle, so they can never be sold. So once it gets to that point where all those are dead, the state of California knows. Guess what? Nobody has an assault rifle, even though those assault rifles are still out there. Like, and I'll give you an example.
Right. There's
When
got to
they
be.
did
There's
the-
got to be
when they
thousands
did
of
the
guns
first-
in fucking Cali.
They
that
said
no-
But
less
when they did
less
the
than
first-
1% of the fucking guns were registered during the process.
When they did the first registration in LA County alone, they knew they had 40,000 AR-15s that did not get registered.
They said less
In
than
LA
1.
County alone. But they don't care because it's just, all it is the minute you do something where that AR-15, whether it's going to the range, whether it's whatever, or you're getting a fight with your girlfriend and I fuck, that's just a rider. I get to put another fucking 10 years on your sentence because you had that gun. And
So
because
when do you think? When do you think the point will come where?
You better hope it doesn't.
I agree. You know what I'm about to say, right? What? At that, there's gonna.
people
if-
have to,
Somebody's
Because
gonna have to stand up
because
once and say
everybody's
fuck
so,
you.
Everybody's so fast to say it, but nobody has seen someone they love fucking die like that.
people have to be uncomfortable, and if they
As long
pass
as you
these
got,
laws
as long
and
as you
nobody's
got power,
uncomfortable,
as long as you got power and food, eating food, they're not uncomfortable. All these
The good-
motherfuckers talking about not having shit, they're all doing it over a fucking cell phone.
What I don't understand is, and maybe because I'm in this kind of community or whatever, like I've yet to be convinced of like, this is what we talked about yesterday. You know what I think gun crime should be? Negligence. If your gun gets stolen and then it's used in a crime, I think you should fucking fry. You should do everything you should do to. I forgot my gun. unloaded. I forgot my car. I left my car unlocked. I forgot my gun in it, and some hoodlum came and opened my. You know what I mean? Like,
But what if you have more than one gun?
Then why shouldn't it be the same when somebody steals one of these fucking razors and kills somebody with it?
Or a car.
But here, okay, and I'll use one of my buddy's arguments.
Somebody takes
I'm
this
gonna- I'm
fucking.
gonna
Somebody
use-
takes this car.
Yeah, 100%. Here's the argument. Here's what my buddy said, and I
Because
gotta
just
get
like your gun in your house is secure in your house, somebody steals this fucking car.
a gun's purpose is only to kill.
Not this.
Nope. You can't look. For a year, I've had that in my brain, trying to wrap my brain. A gun's only purpose is destruction. There's nothing else. You're killing
I don't
something.
know how many fucking people have you killed with your gun.
But
How many people
but
have you
it's
killed? But how many people have you killed with your
how
gun?
many people have you killed with your car?
And how many people? Wait, how many people have you killed with your gun? And how
Way
much?
more people are killed every year with fucking.
I agree,
How
but,
much-
but the purpose of a car's
But how
designation,
much?
a car's not designed to kill somebody.
But how much?
A
ammo
gun's
have you
designed to
fired?
kill something.
Yeah, but you look at it. The purpose is to defend
I'm
yourself,
about-
hunt.
Correct, but still kill.
Well, I mean,
It
I
could,
don't have to kill
it
you
could
to
also
defend
just be a
myself.
threat. It could just be a deterrent.
Yes, I don't have to
The
kill you to defend
function of a gun is
I
to destroy something.
okay.
The function.
You said A and then the, but I think at the very least, you're certainly echoing the sentiment of most of the people in the general public right now would say that exactly that.
Dude, I know what it's for. I know, right. But like,
But like,
I've been
that's a
trying
general thing
to
that we-
argue this, and I haven't found anything against it. Like, you're hunting, you're killing it. Well,
Who are you fucking hanging out with the same?
that's a good point.
Bunch of
It's a good
Mercedes
point.
owners.
I
You
sometimes
know, you know who this is?
Yeah.
This is gonna be the same person. In fact, they're talking about Bernie Sanders, and Jack's like, "Oh, you're voting for Hillary? Get the fuck out! That's who it is."
my point is, most crimes happen from guns that are stolen.
Yeah.
Right? And a lot, like, how many times have you heard of, like, I drove a truck into this dude's house and unbolted his safe and ran off? Not really. Most guns are stolen from, I left it in my car, or I left it on my dresser and somebody broke in and grabbed it and stole it, or opened the drawer looking for jewels. Oh shit, here's a gun, let me
Well,
take it.
But then that means
they're
what you're
actually
saying-
probably going to pass your law that you're talking
But what
about.
you're saying is
because
that-
that keeps anybody from when the
It
law is
puts-
passed. Oh, if somebody stole
But
my
what
shit.
you're saying
It's
is
the onus
that
on law that
you have to have your gun locked up.
No, but you gotta have it under your control if it's out. Like, why do you have loaded ARs leaning against the wall if nobody's home?
Why not?
Don't you?
Yeah.
But
That was normal.
seriously,
Well,
like, if
I
you're
would
home,
say-
you should have it.
I would say that I would argue that no weapon, whether it be the cool ass M1 Abrams that I'm gonna be driving through town, where shit happens,
That's a weapon system.
or
Platform. That's a platform, I'm sorry.
or
The turret's a system.
the 32 Raven you keep underneath your pillow.
Yeah. It's a big pill.
It's intent of the user, so it doesn't matter. So if I have no intent to do ill will with that firearm, it's just as safe with me as if it was in the bottom of the Pacific
Yes.
Ocean. If you steal that gun,
Right.
and you have intent in your heart to do harm to other people,
Right.
that's on you. That's not on me.
I'm
You're
not-
the one that's
So
fucked
I'm
up.
with you, but should you not have control of it?
So what's
You
your
can't
solution? What's your
guarantee-
solution?
can't-
I think you should like
Safe.
safe. You gotta have safe, and you gotta use the safe.
So what if your house is hardened?
What do you mean hard? Okay, that's a safe. That's just a hard safe.
How
Like,
hard? How hard?
like
do
if
have
I
to
know
be?
you have, huh?
How hard does it have to be? I mean, where do you stop?
Yeah,
at?
where do you? Yeah, there it is, right there. Well, that's why
Every gun is-
fucking laws
and I
now.
say-
About
I-
everything.
10
Every
safes at the
defensive
house
measure
because
has some
every
hacker
gun
who
in
can
California has to be fucking locked up.
Right.
Because
It's
it is
not-
a gun. If your gun in California is stolen and a crime is committed, it's a felony to the owner.
Okay.
I mean,
It's been that way.
No, but see,
And
like,
I
but like if
actually-
And I
if a
believe,
shitbag's walking
and I
by my
believe-
window and sees a gun sitting on a nightstand, breaks the window, grabs the gun, and goes, like, oh, who's that
I
on?
believe
And I've
it also has
seen-
to have a trigger lock on.
I don't know.
yeah, every gun sold with trigger.
They have to be sold with trigger.
And I have seen a dude that had a safe as big as 2 of those fucking wall lockers in his garage,
Right.
and it gets stolen.
You know, it's not. I don't know if we should even say that. It's not fucking hard to open a safe.
No, I know it's not. No, I know it's not. I know.
So for every defensive deterrent you have like that, for a firewall, a safe, whatever. There's somebody who can and will.
Oh,
break it.
yeah,
So
right,
the thing is, you put the onus on the person who bought the thing,
right,
and you told them this is the thing you have to do,
right.
and then they comply, and then their gun still got stolen. You're gonna hit them with the law.
I have in my house, I probably shouldn't say it, I have in my house, we got all the tech gadgets. Like, if you can figure out one of my passwords, you can fucking control my whole goddamn house. You can open the garage, you can unlock the front door, you can set the thermostat to 35 in the middle of the night, just to fuck with me. Shut up. So, you know what I mean? Like,
HDT number 1.
right. And I gotta call Jess and change all the passwords. My point is, like, somebody's gonna have to really have a hard on for me to really fuck with me to make it worth their time.
Yeah, the reality
It
is
can be
it's a
done.
deterrent. It's to keep the crackhead. The
Right.
crackhead's going to come in your house.
But I would be
he's gonna
willing to
make
bet.
a sandwich. He's going to
Yeah.
drink your milk out of a container.
Dickhead.
But he's not going to fucking take the time or have.
But
tools
I
to
would
give
bet you,
yourself.
yes, there's hard criminals that fucking take down all big bad fucking say. I'm with you. But
They're doing
majority of
real
guns,
shit. They're not coming.
but I bet you I would be willing to bet. I don't know this for a fact, but I'd be willing to bet majority of guns are just like they're seen, they're opportunities. I see a gun under the floorboard. I open this car and I'm rifling through it. Oh shit, this dude leaves a gun on this floor. I bet you majority of guns are stolen from just really not even breaking windows.
Well, truth be told, that's not even the reality.
What's the reality?
The reality is the majority of guns that are used in crimes
Right.
are straw purchases.
Yep.
They actually know, like the federal
Or
government.
our government just put them back on the street.
The federal government actually knows the gun stores that these guns are coming
from.
from.
Right. Those are
Yeah.
registered. Like,
Well, no, they're
Like-
they're
They're letting them out.
reporting-
That's what.
they're doing the sales, and then those guns are getting stolen.
And then those handguns
And
are
then-
coming, making their way across the border up into
All the way
Toronto.
up, yeah.
That's where all
Or
of our
Mexico.
handgun crime comes from.
The best gun I get, well, I don't want to say the best gun I got, but one of the coolest guns I got was a dude in Canada. We're on a range shooting. This Marine comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, I hear you like guns." I'm like, "Of course." And he goes, "Of course." He goes,
Stoned.
my uncle lives in Canada, and he brings these guns in Canada, and I'm like,
Here we go.
I don't want a goose gun. I don't need none of that shit. And he's like, I got a 7.62 Galil. I'm like, where the fuck did you get that in Canada?
Came from Israel.
Yep.
How many-
Sure did.
I bet you can count how many guns you've sold.
No.
0. Well, no, I'm sorry. I did sell one, but I felt so bad about it that I tried to buy it back from the guy, and he would not sell it to me.
What
I
was it?
even offered twice the money.
What was it?
The fucking stupid AK. I
You
just
never
found
sold a gun.
Never sold a gun. I have
Traded.
traded
Allegedly.
a gun. Yeah, but never sold a gun.
So new Galil's coming out. They announced it. Shot show.
As in the
like
retro.
a real Galil. Like, you know, charging ammo here and all the stuff
Really?
here and
Have you seen
the folder
Because
here.
I just saw a thing where they were talking about that that IMI said they would never release a new
It's not IMI, it was somebody else, but it's like built.
because
looks
they
legit.
destroyed when they retooled for the Tavors, all the Galil stuff got destroyed.
Did
you see-
the Tavor so much better?
Did you see the fall pistols coming up?
No,
Yes,
I haven't seen anything shot show.
No. This was before Shot Show. This was
Oh,
a couple months ago. They made a
What did you say it is?
fall pistol.
The foul.
Foul.
It's the three
Yeah,
FAL.
So
Yeah,
fall
arms.
is FALL.
Oh.
That's fall.
Merci.
See,
Foul.
I like
Pistol.
the fouls. Like fucking
The
that's
folder. Yeah. Yeah, but it's like
You'll get fucking
12 and a half, 13 inches.
You'll get
Fucking head, like, I think that'd
your
be fucking badass.
beard will be all
Oh,
singed
dude,
every time you
the turban will just come out of nowhere. Like that, it grows out of the, like
You
this
ever
will just
shot-
turn white and twist on its
Have
way
you
up.
ever shot a short barrel really like that?
No.
yeah.
You're gonna
Don't-
shoot. You're gonna
No,
take it.
no,
no, I
shoot it.
shot-
You're gonna take it and shoot it.
The
and
holy
you're not
shit,
gonna
this
finish-
sucks.
You're not gonna finish shooting the bullets that day.
Right.
And then you're gonna go to your dentist and be like, "Can you fix my teeth?"
Yes.
Because you're gonna know where every filling is when you start shooting.
I
that.
suggest
Never had a cavity.
So Don's 308 pistol. It's
13 and a half inch.
Yeah. Yeah, don't fuck your shit up.
You,
No,
you can
but
shoot-
still,
you
but
can
on
shoot
a cool
that
level.
motherfucker.
Oh fuck! I'd buy it. Wouldn't even buy a single
You
round
could shoot that
three-oiler.
outside and it would hurt my teeth.
Yeah, I'd buy it and would buy a single round three.
The first time you shoot that, you should shoot it at night.
it just boom. Yeah, you ain't burning a third of that power.
So Don's had a magnifier on it with a Samson mount, and I had it flipped down, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's like 400. Pow! Hit me in the face, sprung over. I'm like, all right, now I don't have that problem anymore. And I finished the rest of the night.
All right, that's long enough. We're probably way over time.
What's up, buddy?
What?